Gopichana Vallabha Girivaradhare Gopichana Vallabha Girivaradhare Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopichana Vallabha Girivaradhare Gopichana Vallabha Girivaradhare Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtatashada Srimad Bhagavatam Charnaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtatashada Tritandi Goswami Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dhama Mathura Dhama Ki Jai ISKCON BBD founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Prahlad Lakshmana Singhadev Bhagavan ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembly devotees. All glories to the assembly devotees. All glories to the assembly devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So before we start, we would like to clarify whether we should speak in German or in English. But there is one person who does not speak German. No? Arbet, you speak German? No. But does everybody understand English? Manu also? English is okay? For you is also English okay? Okay, let's see. We start with the Transcendental Diary of Harishauri Prabhu in English, and then we continue in the Srimad Bhagavatam. We will see German or English. So, we are reading from part number 1 of the Transcendental Diary, and it's April the 6th in 1976. Rameshwara Swami came in about 11 a.m. to discuss some BBT business. He told Srila Prabhupada of their desire to print a large, full 20 times 24 Zoll poster-size picture of him for people to frame. He asked if there was a particular picture that he preferred. Without any hesitation, Prabhupada told him to look on the outside cover of Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila Volume 3. Rameshwara eagerly took down the book from the wall shelf and held up a picture of a radiant Prabhupada sitting on a cushion on the lawn at Bhaktivedanta Manor in England. He held a mild smile on his lips and a light silk chadar draped over his shoulders. Srila Prabhupada nodded his approval and then again reaffirmed it, even though Rameshwara pointed out that he wasn't wearing a flower garland in the photo. Today was the first of a 3-day program in the back area of the temple, just inside the main entrance. It was held from 5 to 7:30 p.m. Many distinguished guests in the area came to offer their appreciation of Prabhupada's work. April 7th, 1976. This morning we drove out well beyond the outskirts of Vrindavan village. At one point, Prabhupada stopped the car and climbed out and began walking across the fields. As we meandered across the uneven fields, a local farmer, the owner of the land, came over to see us. Very respectfully, he offered his pranams and told Srila Prabhupada in Hindi that he considered it a great honor for him and his family to have Prabhupada walk on his land. Prabhupada was very touched by the man's sentiment and mentioned the incident several times later on. He noted that in the West, if you treat without permission on someone else's land, they become angry and may even shoot you. How nice, he said, is a culture where the owner approaches and thanks you, considering himself to be blessed. Today's Srimad Bhagavatam class was 7-9-52. Prahlad Maharaja's prayers are now completed, and Lord Narasimhadev addressed him. The Lord called him Bhadra, which Srila Prabhupada translated as perfect gentleman and also Asurotama, best of the Asuras or demons. Because of his great satisfaction with his behavior, the Lord offered Prahlad any benediction he wanted. Prabhupada said that therefore if we require anything at all, we simply have to please Krishna. It is not necessary to work hard for money and other material gains, because Krishna is Bhagavan, the possessor of every opulence. Just by pleasing him, whatever we need will be supplied. We simply have to become perfect gentlemen. That, he said, is only possible if one becomes a devotee. He gave good examples to establish that only a genuine devotee is actually a perfect gentleman. Others are not. A devotee is perfect gentleman. Why? Now, because he has developed all good qualities. That is bhadra. A devotee cannot be abhadra. Therefore, a devotee is never rude to anyone. When Rupa Goswami was here, some very learned scholar came to talk with him on Shastra. So when he approached Rupa Goswami, he asked, "I want to talk with you about Shastra." And he said, "I'm not a very learned man. How can I talk with you? You are so learned man." So the man said, "If you think that you are not learned, then you give me in writing that I am not learned." So he immediately gave him, "All right, take it, I am not learned." Prabhupada laughed. So when he was going away, that cheat, he was thinking, "I am the most learned scholar," and Rupa Goswami defeated. Then Jiva Goswami was standing outside. He said, "What is that paper?" "No, your uncle has written frankly that he is not learned. I am learned." "All right, talk with me." Then Jiva defeated him. So sometimes devotees are so gentle. If such foolish person comes to talk, unnecessarily waste of time, "All right, you take in writing that I am not a learned. Go away." You see? This is bhadra. Instead of wasting time with a rascal, better give him a paper. "Go away, sir." Then, as a contrast, he described the abhadra from his own practical experience. "I have seen with my own eyes in Calcutta. One hotel man was cutting the throat of a chicken, and it was half cut. And a half-dead chicken was jumping like this, and the man was laughing. His little son, he was crying. I have seen it. He was crying, because he is innocent child. He could not tolerate. And the father was saying, 'Why you are crying? It is very nice. Just see.' So without being a devotee, a man will become cruel, 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 cruel. In this way, go to hell, and the devotee cannot tolerate." We have studied in the life of Lord Jesus Christ. When he saw that in the Jewish synagogue the birds were being killed, he became shocked. He therefore left. He inaugurated the Christian religion. Perhaps you know, he was shocked by this animal killing. Therefore his first commandment is, "Thou shalt not kill." But the foolish Christians, instead of following his instruction, they are opening daily slaughterhouses. So unless one becomes a perfect devotee, he cannot become bhadra, a gentleman. That is not possible. He concluded with an apt and encouraging parallel between Prahlad, the Asurottama, best of the demons, and ourselves, also sons and daughters of the demons. Prahlad was born of a father, Hiranyakashipu, and the most ferocious Asura, so he cannot escape the relationship with his father. How can I say that I am not son of a Asura? But he is Uttama. He surpassed that platform. How is it possible? Now, because Krishna is pleased upon him, Pritoham, although he is born in an Asura family, low-grade family, but because Krishna is pleased upon him, he becomes immediately Bhadra. This is the facility. So those who speak that these Europeans and Americans cannot become Vaishnava, they are mistaken. If Krishna is pleased upon them, immediately they become the best of the Brahmanas. Here it is said, "Never mind, you are born in the family of Asura, but because I am pleased, you are all purified." You don't be disappointed. It is only that we require to please Krishna, then everything is all right. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So today in the Srimad Bhagavatam we will continue with this point that it is important to please Krishna. And now we speak in English or in German. What is your suggestion? English, huh? Okay. Or is there anything you would like to ask or add to this section of the Transcendental Diary? No. The chicken part was really cruel, huh? The man was killing half a chicken and laughing, and naturally the child was kind of crying and shocked. And the man thought, why are you crying? It's nice. Huh? Yeah, so it's a nice comparison that children, they are very honest. Huh? It's very clear to be seen. Also, when I was on book distribution on the street, and sometimes I would come in arguing with Christians about killing animals or slaughtering animals. Is it meant to kill when you slaughter an animal, or is this different from what the Bible says? And I always thought, just give a simple example, show a child how a cow or a swine is slaughtered, and let's see what is the reaction. The child will cry like anything. It's horrible. So how can this not be killing? So this is kind of the proof. So here we are, giving it's a confirmation. Okay, then we continue with Srimad Bhagavatam. Today we are in chapter 19, verse number 8. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Uhuhu Sarvarasanyatyaha. Uhu Sarvarasanyatyaha. Kshiradadhyanagorasan. Kshiradadhyanagorasan. Taravo Puri Varshmanaha. Taravo Puri Varshmanaha. Prasuyanta Matuchyutaha. Prasuyanta Matuchyutaha. Uhu Sarvarasanatyaha. Kshiradadhyanagorasan. Taravo Puri Varshmanaha. 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 Prasuyanta Matuchyutaha. Lady? Sarvarasannatyaha Kshiradhyana Gorasan Taravo Puri Varshmanaha Prasuyanta Matuchyutaha. Before Sarvarasan, all kinds of tastes. Natyaha, the rivers. Kshira, milk. Dadhi, curd. Anna, different kinds of food. Gorasan, other milk products. Taravaha, trees. Puri, great. Varshmanaha, having bodies. Prasuyanta, bore fruit. Matuchyutaha, dropping honey. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The flowing rivers supplied all kinds of tastes, sweet, pungent, sour, etc., and very big trees supplied fruit and honey in abundance. The cows, having eaten sufficient green grass, supplied profuse quantities of milk, curd, clarified butter, and similar other necessities. Purport. If rivers are not polluted and are allowed to flow in their own way, or sometimes allowed to flood the land will become very fertile and able to produce all kinds of vegetables, trees, and plants. The word rasa means taste. Actually, all rasas are tastes within the earth, and as soon as seeds are sown in the ground, various trees sprout up to satisfy our different tastes. For instance, sugar cane provides its juices to satisfy our taste for sweetness, and oranges provide their juices to satisfy our taste for a mixture of the sour and the sweet. Similarly, there are pineapples and other fruits. At the same time, there are chilies to satisfy our taste for pungency. Although the earth's ground is the same, different tastes arise due to different kinds of seeds. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7:10, Bijam mam sarva bhutanam, I am the original seed of all existences. Therefore, all arrangements are there. And as stated in Ishopanishad, Purnam idam, complete arrangements for the production of all the necessities of life are made by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. People should therefore learn how to satisfy the Yakya Purusha, Lord Vishnu. Indeed, the living entity's prime business is to satisfy the Lord, because the living entity is part and parcel of the Lord. Thus, the whole system is so arranged that the living entity must do his duty as he is constitutionally made. Without doing so, all living entities must suffer. That is the law of nature. The words Taravo Puri Varshmanaha indicate very luxuriantly grown, big-bodied trees. The purpose of these trees was to produce honey and varieties of fruit. In other words, the forest also has its purpose in supplying honey, fruits, and flowers. Unfortunately, in Kali Yuga, due to an absence of yakya, there are many big trees in the forests, but they do not supply sufficient fruits and honey. Thus, everything is dependent on the performance of yakya. The best way to perform yakya in this age is to spread the Sankirtan movement all over the world. Uhu sarvarasannatya kshiradadhyanagorasan taravo puri varshmanaha prasuyanta matutyutaha. The flowing rivers supplied all kinds of tastes, sweet, pungent, sour, etc., and very big trees supplied fruit and honey in abundance. The cows, having eaten sufficient green grass, supplied profuse quantities of milk, curd, clarified butter, and similar other necessities. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Gyananshana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stapitam Yena Putale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadandikam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this is we continue here hearing about the importance of satisfying, pleasing Krishna. As we heard in the Transcendental Diary, Prabhupada said that when Krishna is pleased, then everyone else will also be pleased. And here it is again emphasized that one has to please Krishna and satisfy Krishna by doing his duty, performing his constitutional duty. Otherwise, interesting, everybody has to suffer. Without doing so, all living entities must suffer. This is the law of nature. So, therefore, the king has the duty to see that everyone is engaged in doing his or her duty according to the nature of a person for the well-being of the whole society. And we have so many good examples in the Vedic scriptures of kings who exemplary did that. Here we are hearing of Prithu Maharaj, of course. And this is a very big section of the Bhagavatam. So now today, because we just recently went through the second canto in our Bhaktivedanta course, let us have a small discussion on this topic here of the fourth canto with the topics of the second canto. The first point I noted down in this purport that Prabhupada of course mentions is the fact that in earth everything else is included. It's interesting that we already discussed a few weeks ago that the creation of the material world goes in that way that first of all there is the so-called tan matra, we learned, tan matra, sound. And this sound comes from the false ego in ignorance. We have already the modes of material nature, ignorance, goodness, and passion. And the elements like earth, water, fire, air, ether, they actually come from the mode of ignorance and in false ego. And we heard that from sound, simultaneously sound is the object of the perception of the sense of ether. Ether is the characteristica of the element, and simultaneously we have already the ear. And then it is stated that by the impulse of time, as a reaction between ether and the ear, comes the next perception of, or object of perception of senses, which is touch. So then we have touch, then we have air, and then we have the skin. Next comes the form. With form comes fire, and that means also we have the eye. And then comes the taste. Taste means water, and that means also we have to have a tongue. And as an impulse, during the impulse, while there is an impulse, a transformation in the impulse of time between water and the tongue, there comes the last, which is scent or smell, together with the characteristic or the element earth, and of course we have the nose. So this is described in the third chapter, in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and it starts to be described in the second canto. And an interesting fact here is given in this purport, that we heard today, that within the earth, all other tastes are included. And it's a very nice example given by Srila Prabhupada, isn't it? That actually the earth contains all tastes. From earth you get spice, you get sour, you get pungent, it is said, like chili, you get sweet. All kinds of tastes in there in the earth. Depends on what kind of seeds you sow. But all the tastes are there in the earth. So it's a very nice example given here. And the origin of all, or the original seed, or the original seed giver, of course, is Krishna. Bhagavad Gita 7:10, Srila Prabhupada quotes, Krishna says, I'm the, what's it called? So many. Anyone knows by heart the verse? 7:10. It's Sunday morning, huh? Not so easy. 7:10. Bijamam sarva bhutanam. Krishna says, I am the original seed of all existence. So we are meant to understand this and understand it in such a extended way as also Narada Muni could understand by asking Brahma, his father and spiritual master. Because he saw that Brahma is actually creating everything. He's creating, it looks like he's creating the elements, he's creating the universe. And Narada Muni compared Brahma with a spider. As a spider produces his own web without the help of anyone else, and also absorbs the web again without the help of anyone else. Narada Muni said, Brahma, you simultaneously create the universe. There is no help of anyone else. But then Narada Muni is wondering, why are you doing meditation? Why are you doing austerities? If there is no one else who you are dependent on in creation. But then Brahma explains to him, no, it's not me who is the creator of everything. I'm just like a gardener. What I create or what I do is to water the seed which is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by Sri Krishna. And this sweet seed-giving substance, or whatever how we want to call it, is the so-called Swarochisha. The Swarochisha is the Brahmajyoti. And this Brahmajyoti is the seed, or through the Brahmajyoti, Krishna gives the seeds for the creation with which Brahma creates the material universe. But the Brahmajyoti is not created or produced by Brahma. It's produced or comes from Krishna. And the only thing Brahma is doing, he's watering it like a gardener. And the tree grows. So in this way, the material world is created and all the elements come. So the source is Krishna. He is the seed-giving father of all existence. And simultaneously it is explained that there are complete arrangements. Idam Purnam, it is said, Ishopanishad. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudacheti Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam Ivavashishyate. Krishna is the supreme whole. He is complete in himself, and at the same time complete how to say, departments or complete features are expanding from him, who are in themselves complete. But still Krishna does not become less. He is the complete whole. So therefore there are complete arrangements, or there are the possibilities for complete arrangements when we have the right knowledge. Because all incompleteness in the material world, and I think we all know what means like incompleteness or ignorance. We all know what it means that when we are in ignorance, or we don't have a clue about anything, what to speak of everything, who knows everything. We are kind of we are in an incomplete situation. But all this incompleteness comes because the knowledge of the complete is incomplete. So because we are in ignorance of Krishna and knowledge of Krishna, we forgot Krishna, and therefore all incompleteness comes. But actually there's the possibility, full possibility of completeness. So therefore this process of reconnecting with Krishna through Bhakti Yoga is like there is no alternative to it. There is no alternative to it if we want to become complete, or we want to live in a complete situation or complete world, what to say, have a complete life. There is no alternative. We have to learn how to connect and reconnect ourselves with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, from whom everything comes, all seeds are given by him. Therefore, and Srila Prabhupada says, people should learn how to satisfy the Yajna Purusha. Therefore, people have to learn how to satisfy Krishna by doing their constitutional duties. And the best way to do that is to spread the Sankirtan movement all over the world. So the best way to please Krishna and satisfy Krishna is to preach Krishna consciousness, to give this knowledge to others, to understand this knowledge by yourself, and at the same time giving it to others, spreading it. Don't be a miser. And also today I don't want to be a miser, a kripana, because we also hear in the second canto one very important verse where Krishna talks about the elements, and he compares himself to the elements. Which verse is it? A comparison Krishna is giving between himself and the elements? Yes? Yes. Can you say the verse? The verse. The meaning of the verse?
As the material ingredients and Shri Vishnu himself are in the material world, but at the same time outside of the material world.
Yes, exactly. Krishna says, as the elements enter into the material world or into the universe, and at the same time do not enter, simultaneously Krishna says, I enter into the cosmos and I do not enter into the cosmos. So this is like one verse of the Vedic knowledge of the scriptures where we can say, what does this mean? How can this to be? How logic does this sound? So difficult to understand, but we get a very, very beautiful description and understanding and amazing description of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentaries on the Srimad Bhagavatam, which I would like to share with you today, because it's really an enlightening, and it's a great enrichment to hear these words. I just repeat once again this verse. It's 2.9.35. It's one of the Chatu Shlokas. So one of these verses which Brahma was given by the Supreme Personality of God, Sri Krishna, at the beginning, and it's the Srimad Bhagavatam condensed originally. 4 verses, and this is the 3rd verse of it, and it means Yatamahanti putani, puteshu chavacheshu anu, pravishtani apravishtani tata teshu nateshu aham. Krishna says, as the elements enter into all beings and also remain separate, I enter into all beings and remain separate when I perform my pastimes. In pastimes related to the material world, I remain detached, and in pastimes related to devotees, I am attached. So already in the verse, we get a glimpse into the nectar of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's explanation of one of the 4 Chatushlokis in the 2nd canto. He says, Krishna means, in the pastimes related to the material world, I remain detached, and in pastimes related to devotees, I am attached. So in this way, Krishna enters into all beings, and also he remains separate. And in a purport, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains very nicely. Please drink this nectar now with full attention. The entrance of the elements into the living beings is without attachment, since the elements are not conscious. Like the ether, though I am conscious, like a man who lives in his house without attachment, I remain without attachment while entering, regulating and protecting all beings. My pastimes are without attachment in relation to the elements and the living beings within the material world. And now comes the main point. But, Krishna says, I desire to show myself to my obedient devotees who have entered my heart, who have perfected themselves and bow to me. Remaining separate, not entering their hearts, I desire to offer my beauty to their eyes. I desire that my fragrance enters their nostrils, and desire to fill their ears with the nectar of my sweet voice, speaking with them and answering them. I desire to make their limbs experience the sweet softness of my body by touching and embracing them. Thus, situated inside my devotees and externally as well, I perform pastimes with great attachment for my pure devotees beyond the gunas, whom I cannot give up. So such a beautiful description of the character of Sri Krishna, such a beautiful way how Krishna reveals himself through the scriptures. Isn't this wonderful? Krishna explains that he resides in his abode in the spiritual world, in Vaikuntha, in Goloka Vrindavan. And in his feature as Paramatma, he enters the material world, and he's in the heart of every living entity. But he says here at the same time, he is not in the heart of the devotee, he is not there, but he is residing in the spiritual world, and as he is there, Sri Krishna, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, residing in the spiritual world in Vaikuntha and Goloka Vrindavan, being the most beautiful personality, all attractive, glorified and loved by all the living entities there, who are themselves so amazingly wonderful and loving. In that way, as he is, Krishna as he is, such a wonderful Supreme Personality of Godhead, he desires to reveal himself in his glory to the devotee. He wants that his devotee smells him, how wonderful he is smelling. He desires so hard that to show himself to his devotee, and that the devotee drinks the nectar of his beauty. And he wants to speak with the devotee so that the devotee becomes overwhelmed by the sweetness of Krishna's voice. In other words, Krishna is the most wonderful and greatest personality and most sweet personality, but he's not proud of it or telling the others, you are inferior, bow down to me. No, he's not that kind of God. He's that kind of God. He knows how wonderful he is, and he's extremely eager to show his wonderful qualities to his devotees so that they get overwhelmed by his beauty, by his sweetness, by his charm, and all these wonderful qualities that he has. And this is the way how the loving relationship with Krishna actually looks like. And the beginning is, as it is stated there, they who bow to me. First, we have to accept Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. Let me offer my obeisances, bow down, offer obeisances, offer respects, serve without expecting anything else. And it's not like in a mentality, it's not like, as we see, it's not exploiting. No, it's not exploiting. Krishna explains here, he is desiring so much to reward. How does Krishna reward a devotee? By giving himself. He gives himself to the devotee. And how much does Krishna desire? We can imagine in the first kind of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada says, Krishna desires more that we can come back home, back to Godhead, as we can at all desire. Krishna wants us more to drink this nectar of him that we can at all desire. If we have a little desire of Krishna, I also want to dive into this nectarian ocean of your sweetness and love and ecstasy. We have to understand the way how Krishna wants that we drink this nectar is unimaginably bigger and greater than we ever could develop this desire. That is the wonderful character of Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this wonderful understanding we get from this purport of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, of this seemingly miraculous verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Just as the elements enter into all beings and also remain separate, I enter into all beings and remain separate when I perform my pastimes. So, as I can see, when we're talking about the elements, and the first element is sound, and by sound comes the ether, and that means also the ear comes, and by transformation through the impulse of time from the ear and the ether comes the touch, and so on. Yeah, and I look into the faces of the devotees, not so ecstatic. It's a little bit hard to digest these things, but what kind of ecstasy is in it for such a great advanced devotee like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur? If you just read this one paragraph, what understanding he gets from it. I desire to show myself to my obedient devotees who have entered my heart, who have perfected themselves and bow to me. Remaining separate, not entering their hearts, I desire to offer my beauty to their eyes. I desire that my fragrance enters their nostrils and desire to fill their ears with the nectar of my sweet voice, speaking with them and answering them. How great, wonderful is Krishna, and this explanation of this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. And all connected with the creation. We are speaking of the creation. We're speaking of Brahma watering the seeds given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the Brahmajyoti, Shvarochisha. We are speaking of the elements coming up. We are speaking of this Purusha, the pastimes of the Purusha avatars. Karna Dakashaya Vishnu, Kshira Dakashaya Vishnu, Garbha Dakashaya Vishnu, the creation. So we are speaking of this, and there comes so much nectar out of it for such an elevated devotee like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So this is quite amazing and astonishing and going very high to the highest feature of the Supreme Lord. And in this feature, he desires very much, we should understand, Krishna desires very much to show himself in this most attractive and loving feature, the most attractive that we could say kind of he can offer. And simultaneously, this is confirmed also by others, as we also discussed in this studying. That Shri Krishna is the highest, the supreme, Ete Changsakala Pungsam. And in this highest form that he exists he desires so much to reveal himself to his qualified, loving devotee, which he wants us to become. And this is there is no comparison. Even if we have other avatars, for example, we discussed the topic of Narasimhadev, Lord Ramachandra, and Krishna. That Krishna is beyond, is above. That when Hiranyakashipu was killed by Narasimhadev, Hiranyakashipu did not get liberation. But when the same Hiranyakashipu came again in the Leela of Krishna and was killed then by Krishna, then he attained liberation. And this example we have with several other demons, that they received liberation because they were killed by Krishna, not necessarily by other avatars and incarnations. And therefore Krishna is far beyond and above all. He is the supreme. He is the source of all others. So that in this supreme form as he is, most charming, most sweet, as no other avatar also. And this is like the jackpot you can have. So you can say this is like the highest gain you can get. And in this form, he is more desirous to reveal himself to us than we can desire. Unfortunately, we don't have the desire to hear more about this Krishna and here, because our mind is so strong. Unfortunately, we are eager to taste his sweetness, to receive a position where we could lick his body as the cows are doing in Vrindavan, licking Krishna's lotus feet and his body. Do we have the desire to do it? But we should understand Krishna's desire to give this to us is far, far bigger than we can at any time develop this desire. So therefore we should, with full power, tivrena yogena, and it said, with full force, run towards Krishna and approach him for this. Please give me the most valuable thing that you have. What is it? It is you yourself. Give me yourself. And Krishna is very eager for this thing. And he wants us to become qualified that he can give us this prize, so to say, or this, how to say this? Prize or whatever. This reward. So this is wonderful. I wanted to use this opportunity, this spontaneous opportunity that I got today to sit here and speak, to share with you these words from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, which are really amazing, about this verse from the Chatushlokis, connecting with the other topics we heard about, the elements to please Krishna, then everyone else will be pleased, and to understand Krishna as the seed of everything, and our only duty is to become eager to taste the nectar in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Okay. And then we have some minutes time. Maybe someone wants to share something or has a question regarding this. Then we can open this now. Yes.
Prabhu, maybe you can a little bit elaborate on what's the price for the devotee to attain such a taste. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about that.
What is the price that a devotee should be able to pay in order that he can get the nectar and taste the nectar? Yes, of course, we have to be eager. We have to be eager. And so many other qualities are coming along with this. You have to be determined. You have to be strict in your devotional life. You have to give Maya no chance and no alternative. All these things, they are coming together. So, but eagerness, and you have to be determined that what I want is the nectar of Krishna consciousness. What I'm looking for is the nectar of Krishna. So the question is, what are you looking for? Everyone is looking for something. Everyone wants to have a taste. There is nobody who is like in his heart completely empty and like this philosophy of emptiness and voidism. It's unnatural. Everyone has desires. Everyone wants to have these desires fulfilled. Everyone is longing for taste. And as we heard in the lecture a few days ago, there are several places where you can look for this taste. Yeah? And the question is, where are we looking for this taste? There are so many possibilities, especially in the material world, where you can look for this taste and this happiness and this ananda. But I would say the key or the price one should be able to pay is that you have the understanding, at least theoretically you must get the understanding that it is Krishna who I am looking for actually. At least this must be theoretically there. And it should become a practical experience as soon as possible that Krishna consciousness is nectar. The nectar in Krishna consciousness is on a much higher platform than any other nectar we can experience somewhere else in the material world. It means sense gratification. And this nectar, or the taste of this nectar, includes everything else. That means automatically austerities or penance or detachment from the material world will come automatically when I just strive for this nectar in Krishna consciousness. So what I'm looking for, what I'm striving for is not to become a big yogi and an austere personality or attain knowledge, become so learned. We have the example of the great acharyas and spiritual masters in the past. Sometimes they could not even write their own names, but still they are considered the greatest personalities in the universe. The dust of the lotus feet worth of taking upon our heads. Yeah? So this is the quality. This is the characteristic of Krishna consciousness, not depending at all on material qualities. Your material qualities and qualifications, they are not so important in Krishna consciousness. Then it's a good question. So what is the price? What should we pay? What should we be able to pay? Yeah, there must be this determination. There must be somehow this longing. You have to be really convinced somehow that I have to attain Krishna. I must become qualified to be a devotee. I must become a devotee. I must attain Krishna somehow or other. Somehow or other I must do this and give everything else up. Somehow or other you must come to this conviction and continue with the simple process that is given to you. And that is our fortunate position. We are explained, this knowledge is explained to us so elaborately in all the books, and by Srila Prabhupada and much more. Many more books are already existing in that regard. So we can become philosophically completely convinced that it's all about that only. So, and then follow the process. Chant. Chant as much as you can. Chant the Hare Krishna mantra. No matter what others say, If the police comes and say you're forbidden to do this, no, it's the Kali Yuga. I want Krishna. Whatever you want, we chant Hare Krishna. Whatever comes, we chant always Hare Krishna. Never give up the holy name. This must be there somehow. That what is the most valuable thing in this world? What can I get? It's the holy name, You chant constantly the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra under all circumstances. Like we heard the pastime of Maharaj, and they were in Sankirtan, and the police, they checked the car and they found the books. And what to do now? They took the karatas and chanted Narasimha Pranam. So, and what happened then? Kind of a miracle. The police said, "Oh, very beautiful, very nice. Now you can go, you can continue." So this is the name of the Lord. So we should somehow be convinced about this, the holy name, by hearing from the pure devotee about the glories of the holy name, and get this correct understanding, and do it practically. Do it practically. Continue, start chanting. When to start chant? When I have this age, when I have reached this profession, whatever. No, as soon as possible. As soon as you hear the holy name, as soon as you start hearing from the right source. Take up this process. Sometimes we hear conversations between Prabhupada and others, and they would discuss and argue. And after the discussion and argumentation, Prabhupada would say, yes, that was a pretty, but he never said once the word Krishna. Yeah, we are discussing and talking about Krishna consciousness and if it's the real thing and what is good and what is not good as well. But did you at least once say Hare Krishna? This is the basic of the whole philosophy, chant Hare Krishna. So how can you just do it, Just do the simple process. Chant, 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 and follow it and try it out without, without being, Vorurteile, without being biased. I think you can say biased. Without being biased, Sometimes we had people here from television coming and they heard, they did as if they are curious and we explained to them it's all about chanting Hare Krishna. And then even we had one reporter, he was sitting there in front of the house and they filmed him and he had a beatback and he was chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And they said like in the television show that he tried it kind of the whole day. And then somehow or other he experienced then actually nothing is coming. But then if you do it like this, then you must understand that somehow or other you are biased. You already started to chant Hare Krishna with the intention and with the mood that there is no faith that you will say, oh, what shall come there? There will nothing come. No, but you have to chant with faith and with this conviction that no, it's the holy name and there is the nectar. And somehow or other I have to get this nectar, Just do it. And it's amazing how Krishna reacts to a person, Krishna is in the heart of a person and he knows if he is such a rascal, trying to chant Hare Krishna, but actually he's not convinced. But then Krishna does not reveal himself. Then you can chant millions of years as an insect, as a stool, as a worm in a stool, as a teacher, as a professor, as a demigod, whatever. You can chant for millions and trillions of lives. But if you chant like this, Krishna will never do what he said in the purport here of Vishnu Chakravartin. He desires to reveal himself. He desires to make his devotee drink the nectar of his beauty, of his body, of his lips, of everything. He wants that. But if you are a rascal and if you are challenging and if you don't have faith, then this will block this loving relationship with Krishna. Then Krishna will not reveal himself cheaply. No. Then you will do whatever. But if a person has a little bit of desire and hears sincerely the words of the pure devotee who is explaining the glories of the Hare Krishna mantra, like Srila Prabhupada is doing in every page, if there is a little sincerity, then immediately the first time you chant the Hare Krishna mantra, you can immediately experience that, wow, what's this? What's this? You even can see it actually. Your eyes become awakened, This is a spiritual experience. It's not from this world. Immediately you can have it. So therefore Prabhupada also says, Krishna consciousness, you can have it in 1 second or not in millions of lifetimes. So what does it depend on? It's one of the rarest things also which is attainable in the world. It's sincerity. To become serious about Krishna and sincere about Krishna. Seriousness. I mean it's serious with Krishna. I mean I'm serious about it. I'm not like making a joke. Hey, we are so happy, we are the Hare Krishnas. I mean it's serious. It's a serious thing, I take it really seriously up. Even if you do it by joke, favorably, it's wonderful, it's good. You will take advantage of it. Then it's fine. But the rarest thing actually is, I mean it really serious. Become a serious devotee. And I would say this is rare to meet such a serious devotee. How can one be more serious than Prabhupada? Isn't it when you read Prabhupada's books, what comes the first impression when you read Prabhupada's books? Like one of the first impressions is how he is writing about Krishna, the personality of Krishna. And then after some time you read him, he really means it. He really means that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's not like he's believing it. It's not that he is spreading a faith. he writes really about Krishna that he knows Krishna. He knows who is he. He's a person, he's his friend. Kind of, he sees him, he talks with him. He knows Krishna, he does exist. I mean, how is that possible? That's like one of the first impressions I got when I read Prabhupada's books. He's so serious about it, And every page and continuing page of the page, the seriousness, it's so important to understand Krishna, chant Hare Krishna, you follow and listen about Krishna. It's so serious, How can one be more serious than Prabhupada? It's amazing. So this is the prize, to be serious with Krishna. And at the same time, we should understand, this is the wonderful message I got from this, that Krishna is not like, oh, let's test him a little bit, like masochismus, I don't know how to call it. Like let's torch him a little bit, because he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he can torch others. And he's so great. No, he's even more eager to reveal this nectar. He is waiting for this. When will he become serious? When will he become qualified? I want to give myself. I want to make him taste. That's the character of Krishna. Who can be a better friend to us than Krishna? Who can be a greater lover for us than this Krishna? There is no one. So, and who can be more forgiving than this Krishna to us? And he knows everything. Anyway, he knows everything. He knows exactly everything in our heart. But if there is a little bit of this sincerity, and you read about the Hare Krishna mantra, and you sit there with the book, and then you're reading, and then you start on your couch, okay, then let's do it, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Krishna in your heart, he knows, he got the message, he got it, and immediately the nectar is there. It's immediately there. From the first moment it's there, And then actually when you do that, this is what I'm actually looking for. I don't know what it is, I don't know where it comes from, I don't know how it works, but it works. And whatever it is, I want this. Nothing else is needed. I don't need to become a scholar, I don't need to become a whatever I need to become, I just want this. Whatever is favorable, that I can get more of this, I will do it. So then the path is open. Then you're already on the path, Then you just follow and you continue and you taste from the very beginning. You just every day taste more and more. Taste more and more Krishna, Lick more and more Krishna, Drink more and more Krishna nectar every day. And this is actually what Krishna wants also, That's all what it is about in spiritual life. Completely nectar all the time. Drinking, licking, all the time. The nectar. Tasting the nectar. In every regard. With all the senses. And nothing else with the senses. Only Krishna. Everything Krishna, 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 Krishna. And So let's do this. And become serious. And pray for seriousness. Pray to Narasimhadev. Pray to serious devotees, which we are seeing, which we are perceiving as serious devotees. Please give me your blessings that I can also become so serious with Krishna as you are, Please give me this blessing that I become a serious devotee and take this process serious. So let's pray for this. Let's pray to Narasimhadev for this, to become serious and sincere, and just strictly follow the simple path. Not difficult, not complicated, not perplex. It's a simple path. But the challenge is to strictly follow the simple path. And that's very reasonable. Krishna is wonderful. Krishna is amazing, but he's also simple. So, and Krishna consciousness is simple. So, okay. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.